All right, tonight, major progress on three big fronts, especially with the president and North Korea and the negotiations. The June 12th summit is back. Now, only hours ago, a top lieutenant from North Korea named Kim Yong-chol hand-delivered a personal note to Kim Jong-un, to President Trump. And according to the Wall Street Journal, this note was described as fairly basic, but reportedly expressed Kim Jong-un's interest in holding the nuclear summit. Now, earlier today, here is how the president reacted. Let's take a look.
Be meeting on June 12th in Singapore. It went very well. It's really a get-to-know-you kind of a situation. Mike has spent 2 days doing this. We've gotten to know their people very well, and we will. You people are going to have to travel because you'll be in Singapore on June 12th. And I think it'll be a process. It's not, I never said it goes in one meeting. I think it's going to be a process. But the relationships are building, and that's a very positive thing. We're talking about years of hostility, years of problems, years of really hatred between so many different nations. But I think you're going to have a very positive result in the end, not from one meeting. We're not going to we're not going to go in and sign something on June 12th. We never were. We're going to start a process. And I told them today, take your time. You can go fast, we can go slowly. But I think they'd like to see something happen, and if we can work that out, that'd be good.
Do you believe Kim is committed to denuclearization?
Yeah, I do think so. He'd like to see it happen. He wants to be careful. He wants to be, he's not going to run and do things.
All right, that's the president. Great news, by the way, for the entire world. And look at what we've won so far. Now, the president's scheduled to hold a series of weekend briefings at Camp David about this upcoming summit, where the United States plans to negotiate the complete, the unilateral denuclearization of North Korea and the Korean Peninsula. Amazing news for the world. There's promise, there's hope. And by the way, your media said would never happen. We're going to have a lot more on this later in the show tonight. But first, huge, massive news on the economic front. The economy in the United States is now booming officially. We are breaking records month after month. In May, a robust 223,000 jobs were added. The unemployment rate in the United States is now at an 18-year low. Jobless claims dropping to 3.8%. In fact, we've only seen a number that low since 1969. The Mets won the World Series. And get this, African-American unemployment also at an all-time low for the first time, 5.9%. Consumer confidence at a 17-year high. Look at that headline from the New York Times. This had to kill them. We ran out of words to describe how good the job numbers are. Now, the president's economic agenda is clearly succeeding. And despite what the Destroy Trump media tells you night after night after night, this country is in a so much better place, more prosperous place with President Trump at the helm. Numbers do not lie. Let's take a trip down memory lane and contrast with President Obama's horrific economic track record. It saw virtually no growth, record high distribution of food stamps. 13 million more Americans were on food stamps. 8 million more Americans were in poverty. We had the lowest labor participation rate since the 70s, the worst home ownership rate in 51 years, the worst recovery since the 40s, and he doubled the national debt. Yeah, that was Barack Obama's record.